What is up, V Gang? We are officially Mr. Beast. Thank you guys for 100 subs. Who is Mr. Beast? But today we have got the 100 sub special, Cuphead 2 bingos. We have got some clever and crafty picks in here. We're going to have some odds for them, but let's get straight into it. And starting off the bingo with our first prediction, we are going to get some voice lines. I'm pretty confident on this one. I'm going to put it up as 50-50 though, but they're going to have a much bigger budget. They already did the show, so I do think we're going to get some voice lines, and I feel it's going to be either very good or very bad. But on to the second prediction. I think it's a direct chain from this next one. If the first one happens, the second one happens. Mugman is going to get a bitch voice. He's going to sound like a wimp, like every secondary character in Goofy style shows or movies or games. He's Mugs, we gotta go, or Cups, we gotta go now. You know, he's going to get that type of voice. I think if one happens, they're both locks. But on to the third prediction. And for the third, I think King Dice is going to return, or a King Dice relative will return, such as a brother, sister, cousin, but he's too popular to not bring into the second game. I think he's the most popular boss. He's the most iconic character, maybe besides Cuphead. You know, Cuphead might be fluking his way to that most iconic character, but I would still argue it's King Dice. He has one of the hardest trophies in the game. I think he's pretty popular in the show. I didn't watch the show, but I think he is. So I do think this is has a very high likelihood of happening. And on to that fourth prediction. We are 100. I think that I'm putting this as 95, because if we don't get this, I'm going to be super disappointed. I think we're getting a sea level, either a boat or submarine level, and it's going to be fun. We're getting that 100%, or a new gimmick boss or a new gimmick type of battle, like the plane. We're on the ground, we're in the air. I think this is a lock. You know, if I had to pick a lock out of anything, because we got some, you know, far out there Steph Curry half court shots. This is the one I'm most certain will happen, and if it doesn't, I think we are all going to be disappointed. Speaking of Steph Curry half-court shots, we're going full-court shot here. Look at Curry, man. I think Mugman is going to be turned evil for the last boss phase. He's either going to be controlled, or there's going to be some sort of line, or whoever you pick in the game, there's going to be some sort of line where either one gets controlled or one starts to get greedy and jealous, filled with envy, and they become the final boss somehow. I don't know how it's going to happen. This is, you know, shot in the dark. I'm going to give this a 5% chance of happening, but I think it would be cool if you had to fight your own, you know, a Cuphead style battle. That would be awesome. You know, a boss that isn't 10 times bigger than Cuphead. I think that would be really fun. Then this one's a more, you know, hopefully this is kind of an expectation to happen, and if it doesn't, it's going to be a disappointment. I think we get 4+ aisles in the base game, at least. I'm hoping for 6 minimum, but you know, who knows? I think it's going to be all hand drawn again, but the budget's going to be so much bigger. But I'm saying 4+ islands off launch. I think that has a really high likelihood of hitting. Maybe I'd say let's up it to 5 islands on launch. Cuphead devs, we are expecting this. And on to number 7. I think we're getting a third Cuphead brother, you know, a long lost brother. And I think that might be one of the big points of the story. They're looking for this brother, and that's why they go to it, you know, Oinkwell Isle. You know, I don't know what they're going to call it, but there's going to be a green Cuphead. He's going to be T-Man. T-Man is coming to Cuphead. Lock it in. I don't know if that's going to be his name, but we are going to get a third, technically 4th Cuphead. I don't know if Chalice Lady's going to be in this game. Hopefully she is, but that is another lock, boys. Then rolling over, I think we're going to get some sort of PvP that's going to last a couple months. You know, this is a real shot in the dark. This is a 5%, but I think there's a chance we get some BS PvP that's not fully thought out, and it's kind of rushed. You know, it's a little money grab. And that's going to flop, and they're going to take it down. And then you're going to get a hand group of people complaining about it. But no one's really going to care because no one played it. Coming up next, this is another hard one. I think we're going to get 3-player co-op somehow. I think we are going to get that because I think Chalice Lady, I know I said earlier she might be in the game, and I hope she is. I think she will be. So I think 3-player co-op. That would be so chaotic. It would be insane, but I think there's a solid chance that could happen, and it would be really fun. And Cuphead, this is more of a wish for my next prediction. Online co-op. If we do not get online co-op, the streets will be rioting about Cuphead. Yes, Cuphead. I still can't believe they never added an online co-op update to the first game. The fact it's couch co-op or you have to game share is ridiculous. But Cuphead is a peak game. We can look past that. And on to the next. I think we're going to get some sort of melee weapon. I know we kind of have whetstone here, but I'd love a weapon where when you click whatever your shoot button is, it parries or it attacks and you can get close. I think that'd be super cool. I don't know how they'd really do it, but I do feel we're going to get, an inkling of that, a small, maybe even one weapon just to test it out. Because, Cuphead's too popular. They're going to say again, that's for another prediction actually. But I think we're going to get a melee weapon. More, I hope so. On to a prediction I do not want to be making. I think we're going to get a collab. I can't lie. And I'm not going to say it's a bad collab, but, if you see Jake Paul pop up on your screen, we got a Jake Paul boss transition into Logan Paul, don't be shocked. That is my prediction. We're going to get some sort of collab. I think that's a must after how big this game is. There's going to be maybe a good collab, maybe a bad collab, maybe, I got another cheeky prediction coming up. I can't say it yet, but next up, this game's not coming out till 2029. I can't lie. This game is not coming out till 2029. So y'all, when we're all 60 years old, we can come back to this video, see how many predictions I got right. But this game is releasing at the earliest 2029. I'm very sure about that. And another crafty pick, contradictory to what my title is. There's zero chance this is not going to be called Cuphead 2. Let's be honest. It's going to get the DLC treatment. Cuphead in the Frog Kingdom. Cuphead on a long adventure. Some bullshit like that. We are going to be getting it. This is 100%. I'm putting this as an 100. This is the lock of the video. Lock of the video. Mark it in. Next up, Pork Ron's coming back. The GOAT Pork Ron's coming back, and he's going to have a voice line, and it's going to be, super raspy, aggressive, deep. Book it in as well. That's another 85, because you can't get rid of your merchants games. Merchants must stay. That is rule 1 in gaming. And now to a more tame, hopeful, naive prediction. I think this game's going to get 10 million copies sold. Not 100%, but I do believe Cuphead, the devs are amazing, the games are amazing, and I think Cuphead 1 sold about 6 million copies. With the word of mouth it has, it's going to have a lot more fans as gaming keeps growing and growing. I'm pretty certain this will get 10 million sales. They do a lot of good sales with the games. The games are never full price, and people are getting tired of full price. They realize the small indie games for half the price with 10 times more of the content are better than the AAA slop that gets produced with no story, with crap combat, and gets released unfinished. But enough complaining about AAA, because AAA does release some fire games. Let's be honest. Insomniac only releases bangers. Santa Monica, bangers. Rockstar, bangers. CD Projekt Red, bangers. But next up, this doesn't really have to do with Cuphead 2, but I do think the 8-bit Cuphead is not going to do too well comparatively. I think it's going to be a good game. I might pick it up, but if this game's any more than $20, I don't think I will. I think it's going to kind of flop. Not a lot of people are going to be talking about it because Cuphead 2 overshadows it so much. Maybe you should have added a trailer for once you beat the Cuphead 8-bit game, then you release Cuphead 2 so everyone's interest is piqued and people are paying attention to the 8-bit game as well. This one, I think, is a lock. Cuphead devs are going to say this is the last Cuphead game, and then they're going to do the exact same thing they did this time, and they are going to come out and release another Cuphead game because they realize it's a great franchise, it's a cash cow, and there's so much more you can do with this universe. It is crazy, but they're going to do what every director does for some reason and say the game's not going to get another, it's not going to get another game, guys, and then release it after a couple years. That's going to happen again. This is kind of a 2-in-1. I'm just going to put it as 1 on the bingo list. Number 1, this game, actually, we'll just split them up, whatever. This game's going to be way harder. It's going to be exponentially harder than the first Cuphead game. It is going to be super difficult, and there's going to be a impossible to get trophy that everyone says is the hardest trophy in gaming to get. That is 100%. They want to make this game even harder. Second, it's going to be 500% to beat the game. To fully beat the game, you're going to have to 500% the game. I think those are both pretty safe bets. Maybe not the 500%, but I'm pretty confident that both will hit. So yeah, we're going 24 for 24 on this video, guys. Just remember, in 2045, when the game finally releases, come back here and you can comment, I was right. Next up, I think we will be getting 10 plus weapons, 10 plus charms, and I think those are both pretty certain. They already have a bunch of weapons in the game now, and they're probably going to bring some back, probably going to bring back some charms, and they're going to add new ones, and I think we're going to get at least 7 new of each. 7 new of each, maybe bring back 1 or 2. And on to the next. I think we're going to... This is more just a guess. You know, chuck it on the bingo. If we get it right, we tell everyone we are the Cuphead, the best Cuphead predictors in the game. They're going to add costumes. Wouldn't that be cool? You know, you just ripping around Cuphead. He's got a little umbrella in his straw. They're going to add costumes. Come on. And this is a hot take. I don't know what the general consensus is on this. I think they might get rid of running guns. I don't think there was any in the DLC. They just had I think they're going to go more the chess approach, but have a different, what's the word for it? Just a different type of enemy or something similar to the chess where you're facing an enemy to get a coin, but it's not a full-on boss fight. It involves creativity using the mechanics of the game, such as, you know, invisa rolling, parrying. I think they're going to add that, and they're going to get rid of... It's like, dumb. If you guys have watched the 300% series, the one episode that's out right now, I hate running guns so much. They're so unfun. I don't care what anyone says. They are so unfun. And on to our final prediction. And the last prediction of the Cuphead bingo. It's a bit basic. 90 plus on both the Metacritic user score and the critic score. Cuphead, we got this peak game. It is going to hit it. And it's going to get nominated for Game of the Year. That is the predictions, guys, for Cuphead 2. Let me know what you think is going to hit. Make sure to comment some predictions you have, and make sure to like and subscribe for more. Comment what else you guys would like to see, any movies you'd like to see reviewed, any rankings you'd want to see. Thank you guys so much for watching. Have a great day.